Okay, guys, I apologize. I'm like super tired, but I'm gonna do this video anyways. So wrestling show. We've not done an episode in eons. I've been trying to catch up on everything that's going on, basically. First thing I want to talk about is Lucha Underground. The new season will be premiering soon. You have several new people involved in the company. Some that are familiar and others that are not. Some indie stars have switched over and they are now a part of the company, plus some former talent from WCW as well. Chavo Guerrero Jr. Is now part of that. Obviously, the Guerrero family has been in wrestling for I don't know how many years. I mean, probably longer than 60 years, honestly. Um, so you have that whole thing, and then you have Jack Swagger, who's going to make his Lucha Underground debut. Also, Tommy Dreamer is going to be involved in the company as well. Um, so they're bringing some other talent into the mix to kind of further the company, and I think that that's a great idea for them. I've always liked Lucha Underground. I think that they do a great job with just wrestling in general and storyline. It doesn't have all the excess stuff from the other companies that are around that kind of distract you. It's just about great wrestling, and I think that that's great. Um, ROH, their new product is pretty good, honestly. I've been pretty impressed with the mix of different talents from around the world. They have that contract with New Japan now, so they're bringing in a lot of different talent from overseas. Um, I really believe that um, having Kenny Omega and the Bullet Club and some of the other talent from New Japan coming to Ring of Honor is a great thing for the business. We've seen, Will Ospreay. He's a very well developed talent. Honestly, he's wrestled all over the world. I know WWE. Sorry, blah allergies. WWE has been very interested in him for many years. Um, Also, Adam Page as well. But let's talk about Cody Rhodes for a minute. Um, Cody Rhodes pretty much has reinvented his whole career in Ring of Honor and in New Japan. I'm actually very thrilled that he is getting the opportunities that he was not given in WWE. And I've been a Cody Rhodes fan for a long time. I think the guy can really wrestle. He has lots of great talent on the mic. I think he is a great talent for any company. So I think that either whether it's Ring of Honor or New Japan, he's going to do wonderful things in wrestling. And he's definitely shown that by selling out arenas. His merchandise is hotter than ever right now. Um, and Ring of Honor is a great company right now. They've got a lot of great talent in there. They still got the Motor City Machine Guns. They still got Christopher Daniels, Frank Kazarian, Cheeseburger. I don't know, like they just have so much talent there. I mean, it is just crazy sick. Um, and let's not forget about the women. Um, Women of Honor tournament. They're starting to build their women's division, and they've got a lot of great talent there too. Not to mention that Emma made her debut in Ring of Honor not too long ago, and she's tearing it up there. She's doing a great job. I watched some of the highlights online, and she's proving her case that she is a talented wrestler that they can use in their women's division, and possibly build around her. And I think that that's great. I think that she was not given the right opportunities in WWE, and I think that she's taking advantage of that in other companies, and I think that that's great. Um, so the next story we're going to talk about is something that really concerns me, honestly, and that has to do with WrestleMania. So right now there are a lot of allegations from Richard Rodriguez and John Bravo about Roman Reigns' steroid use and doping to keep his body going, basically. He was already suspended at one point in time for his career for this. So, my concern is if there is physical evidence, which I'm thinking right now, I'm trying to have an open mind with the situation. And trust me, I mean, I'm not really a Roman Reigns fan either way, but I don't think it's good for the company because it's a family friendly environment. The other wrestlers get tested all the time, and if they get tested positive for anything, they get suspended like 30 days. Some of them more likely 2 months possibly. So that concerns me because basically that would screw up your main event for WrestleMania. Um, and not to mention that Lesnar has yet to show up um, for the confrontation for the main event. He was supposed to be on Raw last night. He never showed up. He was only in Vegas to promote a UFC event or something like that, or take pictures. I don't know, hang out with the president for some reason of the company. Um, so we don't really understand what's going on with Lesnar right now either. We don't know if he's just gonna basically show up for Mania or not at this point, so we don't really know what's going on. I think that's the reason why Braun Strowman is kind of hanging in the wings in the background, waiting on what's going to happen with the Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar situation, whether we're going to have that match or not. We don't know with the allegations with the doping. So, um, and let's not forget that Brock Lesnar's contract is up the day after WrestleMania, basically. So, um, if I was WWE, here's what I would do. Um, I would give Brock Lesnar at least two more opportunities to show up. To at least confront Reigns to let them know that yes, this match is happening at Mania, or not. Like he could just vacate the title. I mean, since his contract is going to be up anyways the day after WrestleMania, they could just build a whole new main event, honestly, which that's what I would rather see, in my opinion. Um, I mean, they have other talent that they could throw into that mix. I personally think that what they could do is they could have like some type of a championship tournament at WrestleMania and throw like three or four guys in there. And then whoever wins basically wins the championship. I think that that would make total sense, honestly. Um, so, I mean, that's only if Lesnar doesn't show up and if he doesn't want to wrestle at WrestleMania. I'm hoping that's not what's happening because, I mean, I want to see Lesnar. He's good, for WrestleMania. He brings in, fans, and I always enjoy watching him wrestle. But at the same time, though, I mean, if he's not going to show up and not promote the title and not defend it, I mean, why does he have it? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Um, Here's what I would do with the John Cena situation. I would actually have him maybe have a triple threat with Undertaker, him, and I would probably throw in Bobby Lashley. Actually, that probably would be a decent match. Um, and what I would do with the Intercontinental Championship would be Seth Rollins and Finn Balor versus The Miz. I think that that would be a really amazing match for WrestleMania, and they need something like that. Um, so that's just a few ideas I think for Mania. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think about that whole thing? Comment below. Um, so let's get into the review of Elimination Chamber. I did watch it. I thought it was a pretty decent pay per view. I would give it, a solid 8, honestly. Definitely not a 10. Um, Gallows and Anderson versus, hang on here, I gotta think. The Miz Duras, I think. Yeah, that's who. That match was okay. It wasn't anything that I would say was like spectacular as far as excitement. I would say it was probably like a 6, honestly, out of 10. It wasn't like anything great. Um, but now the women's elimination chamber match, that was pretty good, honestly. There was some pretty interesting things that happened in it. They did a great job. All the females in that match worked their asses off. I was very impressed with Bailey, Sasha Banks. I think Alexa Bliss did a great job in that match. I even think Sonya Deville did it pretty good. Mandy Rhodes did pretty good too. So I mean, Mickey James did something really amazing, honestly, in that match. She just leaped off the top of part of the cage and landed on people, and she pinned Sonya Deville. That was kind of cool. Um, so there was some pretty good efforts in that match. I was pretty impressed with it. Pretty good match. The Bar versus Titus O'Neil and Apollo. Um, really predictable. Wasn't really something that I would have booked myself, honestly, on that pay per view. I would have had them wrestle like the Revival. Um, honestly, in my opinion, I mean that would have been a better match personally, but I know that they're trying to push Titus O'Neil and Apollo, and that's fine, but eh, I think the Revival would have been a better choice, in my opinion. Um, Now the Asuka Nia Jax match. Oh my God, that was a wicked match. I've never seen Nia Jax that mad ever before. Like, I mean, her throwing Asuka directly through the barricade head first, that was pretty wicked. I enjoyed that like a lot, honestly. That was really, really hilarious. Um, Triple H and Stephanie came out last on that night. I'm sorry, getting ahead of myself. Um, and so they have Ronda Rousey come out to the ring and do her contract signing. And basically, Kurt Angle is running his mouth, basically saying uh, the only reason why Triple H and Stephanie want Ronda there is because so that they can basically own her and tell her what to do and run her life. And the unfortunately, there was some bad language that was said on the pay per view at that point, and I really liked that segment. I thought that Ronda like suplexing Triple H through the table was really funny. I really thought it was great. Honestly, I laughed. That was funny. Just to see Triple H's reaction was real. Oh my God, it was priceless. Um, let me think here. Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt, I thought was a pretty good match. I don't know why people didn't like it. I thought Matt Hardy is finally getting his character over. Um, and I'm a Woken Warrior myself right here. I like Matt Hardy. I like the Hardy Boys. I think that they're great, in every possible way. They helped innovate the Attitude Era. And I can't wait till Jeff comes back. I think that that's going to definitely be good for the fans. Um, I just thought that match was really good. There was great points in it. I liked the whole Matt Hardy playing mind games with Bray. That was pretty entertaining. Um, and so yeah, I would give that match probably an 8. I think it was pretty good, considering it just kind of got thrown together. Um, and then we're gonna move on to the most great part of the pay per view, and that was the men's elimination chamber match, which was wicked. That was a great match. Um, I thought Finn Balor did a wonderful job in that match. He has really shown what he can do in the ring. But we've always known that. I mean, Finn Balor is one of those guys who's incredibly talented, and I don't understand why they don't push him into the main event scene for that championship. I think that he would be a great world champion. I really believe that. Seth Rollins was great in that match too. He fought his ass off in that match. Braun Strowman was just wicked in that match, though. I mean, he eliminated 5 people in that match. Um, and, to just see him pick up Miz and just launch him like a long dart directly on top of everybody in the middle of the ring, like 12 feet in the air, that was just wicked. Um, Roman Reigns, I'm not really a fan of Roman Reigns, but I gotta admit, he did have a pretty decent match, honestly. It was really predictable, though. We already knew that Reigns was gonna win. I mean, because he was gonna go fight Lesnar, basically. That was the original plan, but we don't really know what's going on with that now. Um, Cena actually had a pretty decent match, too, in that match. I was pretty impressed with some of the things he did. Um, when all the members tried lifting Braun Strowman up and power bombing him, that was pretty awesome. Um, what would I give the pay per view? I would give it probably a solid 9. I thought it was pretty good. Lots of good points. Not any points where it was like slow or anything, so that's good. Um, Let me think here. So that was basically the review of the pay per view. Um, what I think about Monday Night Raw last night. I thought that there was some really good points to it. I thought the Ronda Rousey segment last night um, was really good. Honestly, I think that it's leading to something at WrestleMania that we could possibly look forward to. Whether it's Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie, I think that would actually be a decent match, and they should book it for it. Um, but there's also the possibility that The Rock might come back. We don't really know right now, so that's kind of in the works. So we'll just have to kind of see. The women's match, yeah, I thought it was pretty decent. Asuka did a really great job in that match. And finally, Bayley standing up for herself, basically after what Sasha did to her at the pay per view. Basically, saying, no, I'm not taking this anymore. I would love to see Bayley versus Sasha Banks at WrestleMania, maybe in like a street fight or like a ladder match, tables match, something entertaining. I would think that that would be amazing for the women's division. Do it. Now, Alexa Bliss, I thought what she's trying to prove basically that she can't be beat, and I have to be honest. I want to see Alexa Bliss versus Asuka and Nia Jax. And maybe Mickey, throw Mickey in there too, honestly. I think that that would be an amazing match for WrestleMania for Raw. Why not? I mean, Mickey James, I think, deserves to have at least one last WrestleMania match. Um, so yeah, I thought Raw was, it was okay. Again, Lesnar didn't show up, so even though he was scheduled, so um, the one high point of that whole Raw, honestly, was John Cena basically calling out the Undertaker. That was pretty entertaining. I actually wouldn't mind seeing that match if it happened. I think that that would be really great, but we don't really know what's going on at this point, so WWE is kind of leaving it open. Um, let's see here. Bobby Lashley signed his contract with WWE. We're not really sure when he is going to start wrestling, but I think that that's a great thing because if Lesnar leaves, then Lashley could probably step up to that stage of his career and maybe take over where Lesnar left off. Um, I think Bobby Lashley is incredibly talented. He's proven that. I mean, even his work in Impact, I think he did a great job over there. Um, Speaking of Impact, they're losing a lot more talent, a lot more of their talent, honestly, because you know, you have to consider EC3 is obviously with WWE now, so we don't really know when he's gonna premiere. I would hope so soon, maybe by NXT Takeover New Orleans. Um, I've been really impressed with NXT. I think that the competition has been great the past few weeks. I've watched a lot of the shows. Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano, has done a lot of great work for that brand. And I wonder what they're gonna do with the storyline with him and Tommaso Ciampa. I would like to see that match at WrestleMania. I think everybody would. Um, that is your Drizzle Wrestling update for this week. I'll probably be coming back in 2 weeks when WWE Fastlane SmackDown live pay per view will be on air. So I will be back possibly then to update you on this situation with WrestleMania and where we are with that. Um, because WrestleMania is in exactly 6 weeks from now. So you got to build some storylines here for everybody. So, and I am looking forward to AJ Styles versus Nakamura. I'm really hoping that that does happen at WrestleMania. Um, and maybe Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan. I think that that would be good too, if they could throw that together. So, anywho, let's remember that we're all wrestling fans. That's what we're here for. That's what this show is about. Much love and respect to all of you who are wrestling fans in general, and I will be back soon.